By now, you've probably seen this disturbing video, a horrifying scene as dozens of shots are fired near a Little League game Monday night at Pepper Hill Park in North Charleston. Well, those shots undoubtedly ringing in the ears of the players and the spectators alike days later. Well, joining us for a special sit-down is Beverly Hutchison, Executive Director for Dee Norton Child Advocacy Center. Shell-shocked would be one way to describe it, to see those kids running for cover. No child should ever have to deal with something like this. Now in the days after, what is the best way for a parent to broach the subject?
You know, I think shell shock is a great word, and I think we as adults are feeling some of that. So we would anticipate that children feel some of those same emotions, and depending on their age, their experience, their development, they're going to have a different range of emotions, everything from sadness to anger to anxiety. And one of the things we need to do is recognize that. Mm-hmm. We know that talking about hard things is important. So first, I would tell adults to take care of themselves, mm-hmm. to take a few minutes and process their own emotions and their feelings with other adults, their spouse, their partner, family members, friends, so that you're in a better position then to help your child manage their emotions. Mm-hmm. And at that point, you want to start your conversation with your child. Find out what they know about what's happened, listen to what they're remembering, and help them make sure they name their emotions.
Because even though these are children, you will probably have the same questions that they are going to have. Right. And if you can answer those yourself or talk to someone else that you can use as a sounding board, would be of benefit to then get into a much deeper conversation with a child or at their understanding level. Yeah. So the worst thing you could do is to sweep it under the rug as if it never happened.
Correct. And you know, we ask these questions of ourselves, like you said. You know, we want to have answers as adults, and we may not have them. Yeah. And it is okay in that conversation with your child, if they ask you something and you don't know the answer, mm-hmm. it is perfectly okay to share that with your child. Mm-hmm. You know, you want to be talking about what adults are doing to make our world safer, but the biggest thing you can do is give them time and space to process it. Limiting exposure to media to the re-watching yes. of a violent act, if you can limit some of that, will be helpful to your child yeah. and to you as an adult.
Absolutely, and
yeah.
I think that's the reason why a lot of people, they shut those things off because they don't want to have to relive it over and over right. and over again. And I realize we just played part of that video, but to this point is we need to know how to better broach and approach these subjects with our children. For a child who may have been there mm-hmm. or may have been in a situation where now that memory is paired with something that was once so innocent, mm-hmm. once it's taking that childhood and robbing them of it. Right. But when you are at a baseball game, if they're going to ever want to play again, I mean, how do you then say, well, you know what, this was not something that happens every single day. Don't feel like you can never play baseball or go see a baseball game ever again. As an example, what do you do?
Like that. Okay. Just like that. Okay. Talk to them. Mm-hmm. You know, explain that this was an unusual occurrence, but also recognize that their feelings are their feelings, mm-hmm. and allow them some space to process that. You yourself may not want your child back on the baseball field for a little while, but you know, look at those emotions, you know, and try and make sure that your child feels safe, mm-hmm. so that they can return to playing baseball. And it all starts with making sure, and follow-up conversations are going to be important. Yeah. These feelings, these emotions, these reactions can last days, weeks, months. Mm-hmm. So mm-hmm. while you may have that conversation today and feel like you've processed it, you know, in a week you may be seeing some activity from your child that doesn't feel right. Think, maybe we need to revisit.
Absolutely. I want to thank you so much, Beverly, for coming back yet again Absolutely. And discussing this with us. We really appreciate it. We're back after this.